pjnet.tv. It is a Wednesday night, July the 8th. We have a PJNet update coming up, and we're going to switch to Studio 7 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, welcome to PJNet.tv. I'm your host, Coach Prasek, and tonight we are going to take a break from the usual routine at the top of the hour and use this opportunity to give you kind of a PJNet.tv update, some of the things that are going on or being contemplated in the near future. So first of all, thank you all of you who have joined us in the PJNet.tv chat room. If you're watching this on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, we're glad that you have joined us as well, and we invite you to come join the chat fellowship. You can watch the same thing over there, pjnet.tv. Use a desktop, laptop, or a good tablet will do the job too. So much is going on, and I always try to kind of plug these in at the end of our guest appearances, but tonight I wanted to share with you and kind of give you a peek into the future. Some of the things that are being contemplated. Things are going quite well overall, but that is never good enough. If we can do good, we have to do better. If we can do better, we have to do best. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Ben. Did he ever knock it out of the park? Last night, as well as his little promotional thing he did is doing quite well. He finally released the video from the television program that he was on the other day, and he represents the PJNet brand very well, and we're just grateful. And he's a team player. Good to have people like Ben on the team. And thank you, Ben. And he is one of many. That is not to say that all the others aren't great in their own way, but that is kind of recent, and it really he's got hundreds of views on the highlights video from last night. And a great message. And Michelle, by the way, is scheduled to be with us at the bottom of the hour. So why am I sharing things with you? Well, because I want you to know. Doug Carter put me in contact with a young man in Alabama. Spoke with him briefly on the phone last night. We were going to have more conversation tonight, but it didn't work out, so we're rescheduling that for tomorrow. But he is doing some interesting technology work involving Roku. Now, I know very little about Roku, and what I know wasn't all that good. But I have just ordered a Roku device so that I can do more research into how can we perhaps enter that space as another tentacle, another outlet of the gospel message that we want to proclaim and exalt here at pjnet.tv. I look forward to finding out more about it. The Roku device is actually kind of in short supply. It's in back order. It won't be in until next week, late in the week. So I'll be playing with that, plus talking to others. If you have any knowledge of Roku and the workings of how that all goes together, I'd sure love to hear from you and learn as much as I can and find out ways that we can take advantage of that outlet. Now, that got me thinking about some things. And I have been in conversations with no less than 3 people in the past 3 weeks, and the topic of podcasting came up. That is more time. Anytime podcasting has come up, I usually express contempt and say, well, that's not video. There's no motion. There's no color. It's really boring. It's bland. It's just like a black and white picture when we can do this in color the way, but nonetheless, since it came up so many times, I got thinking, and I know that several people are launching podcasts. And so my mind has been on it, and I have spent all night last night, as well as the majority of the afternoon today, studying podcasting and studying the outlets, the platforms, the technology, the potentials, and the possibilities. And came up with some ideas I wanted to share with you, because maybe you are one of those that are considering doing a podcast, or maybe you are doing one. One of the criticisms that I have of podcasting is that, it's boring. You just got to sit there and listen to it. And some of them are rather long. And I never found a podcast platform that would allow you to play the podcast directly in social media, and I don't think I ever will. But you got to click and go somewhere else. And my experience has been anytime you do that, well, they don't click. That's why I like to upload the media directly to social media platforms, so it can be played. They can stop scrolling and play again in line, and on Facebook they can even keep scrolling and it'll still play. So trying to get people to stop scrolling is the challenge we're all trying to work with. But sending them off to another website is not a great idea. Now, for video, it's a terrible idea. Our YouTube metrics are they really go thud beyond all belief. They're negligible. But with a podcast, I thought, well, if it opens in a new tab and you hit play, you can go back to Facebook or back to Twitter and you can still hear it, while you're doing the social media thing, while you're kind of browsing around looking for stuff to do. I thought that's good. But the thing that really convinced me is when I was invited to be a guest on the EYF podcast, Exercise Your Faith, and that was released on a Monday. Now, normally I would be off on Monday, but that particular Monday I'd been called into work, so I was in my car, so I decided to take everybody's got one of these, and that's important. I took my mobile device, my smartphone, went to the website, and I was able to play that podcast on my way to work and listen to it in its entirety. If I tried to do that with a video, first of all, it would start buffering up if I had used up all of my high-speed data, or I would also lose signal between where I'm at and where I'm going. So, but I noticed that I was able to listen to the entire podcast uninterrupted without any buffering or spooling. So I kind of, put that in my head. Then I started thinking about bloggers. Now, blogs they face the same challenges. We're trying to get platform. I'm not a blogger. I gave it a shot, but I very quickly lost interest in it. But I realized that there are some successful bloggers out there, and I realized that if you are one of the many authors and writers that are participating in the PJNet project, the family, we all know, and you've been told, and you believe, and that you've got to build platform. You can't just publish a book. You have to have platform to even get a publisher to be interested in publishing your book. And so blogs are kind of problematic for me because I'm not a reader. Now, fortunately, I've been introduced to some really great bloggers through this great PJNet experience. That JD and Dell and others, that I actually read their blogs but I'm just not a reader. You know what I mean? It's just not, I'm just not a reader. But there is some great content in these blogs. It is a gospel-centered message, and I think in obedience to the Great Commission, we all need to do everything we can to project outward the gospel message, and blogs are certainly one of them, but you got to read them. That means you pretty much got to stop everything you're doing. And now, think about that. If to consume a blog, the reader has to pretty much stop everything they're doing and read the blog, and you've got to hold their attention. That's a mountain to climb. That's almost a vertical wall. So I have secretly had on the back burner a text-to-speech engine that I brought to the front burner today. And I did an experiment with JD's blog that came out today. And it is the second of a two-part. And the reason I chose it was that it actually has two voices in it. It has two characters. He introduces Shelley, who then tells her story. Okay, so there's a male and a female voice in these things. So I put it together. You just basically copy, and you got to massage the text a little bit. Put commas in that really shouldn't be there, but very quickly I can take the text of a blog and turn that into an audio file that can be listened to, an MP3, a blog, a podcast. Okay, And got playing with that. And in the case of JD's, it took 5 minutes and 50 seconds is the duration. That's not very long. That's well within the attention span of an adult. And got talking to some trusted people, among them Sunbelt Girl and JD. And I'll be talking to others. And if you would like to talk to me, I want to hear from you. Is, what are some of the possibilities? How can we leverage that? And just got off the phone with JD a few minutes ago. And he told me something that I had totally overlooked. I was thinking, gosh, you could do your blog and at the bottom say, listen to this here. So if you are in your car or in a mobile device or doing your shopping with, you see people walking around with these earphone thingies, some of them are wireless now, but people are consuming content while their phone's in their pocket. But they're still grocery shopping or driving or whatever. Wouldn't it be nice if they could consume the blog in that context without having to stop what they're doing and reading? Well, that's worth a try. I'd like to try that. So we're going to try that. Okay, we're going to do some things. The other thought that here's the breakthrough that this blew me away. Just blew me away. Bloggers have a mailing list that they send out an email. I mean, I get them and I just didn't realize it. And the email, you get it and it says, click here to go read it. Well, what if it had another link, or click here just to listen to it now? Wouldn't that be cool? And if we did this experiment, we would have some very rock solid metrics. These mailing lists are already established. They're already established. So we don't have to start from nothing. Bloggers have worked hard to do that. Why wouldn't they want to do this? Do they really care if it gets read or gets listened to, as long as the message gets out? And I can certainly put a little sizzle on the front end, do a little introduction, do a little wrap up. I've been in radio. I know how to do that. So I'm really kind of looking forward to just trying this out to see what'll happen. Now, if we get a podcast platform, well, look, we've got many podcast or bloggers amongst us. So we can start now. You can go to this one place where all this great content is aggregated, and you can pick and choose what you want to listen to right now. So it's on your terms. You don't have to, if you put it in a playlist, you gotta, you gotta go fast forwarding through it, and you may skip over it, and you may never find it in spite of your efforts, and you're trying to drive this whole time. Well, what if there was a simpler way where we can say, here's JD's, here's so-and-so, here's Dell's, here's PJNet. We could literally take these programs that we do every night. It would be very easy for me to convert that to an audio-only format, upload it into a podcast platform. And who knows, we might even... So if we get some aggregated content, now we've got a variety of flavors. It's kind of a la carte. It's a buffet. You can just take what you want. If so-and-so's style appeals to you more, well, just listen to that. You don't have to skip through others to hear it if you like, So, and this would be a way, I know many of you have said, gosh, I'd love to just listen. I'm trying to figure out a way that you can just listen on your mobile device to the live programming. So that's one of the check boxes I have. Can we do it as a live program? Hadn't found that yet, but maybe we can, maybe we can't. But those are some of the things that we're working on, and I just want to share them with you because I'm kind of excited. When you stay up till 6 in the morning doing research and you realize, oh gosh, the sun's up. It kind of had you, and I looked at this all afternoon. So I'm kind of excited about it. I'm excited about everything that we're doing here, but I am also at the same time looking at the scoreboard, and I'm not satisfied that we're scoring enough points. There's a lot of effort going into this. There is a financial investment going into this. You all are investing your time. And I'm real proud of what we're doing. I'm happy with what we're doing. I'm just not happy with the points on the board. I think that we must do better than we're doing now if we are going to significantly impact or move the needle, as I sometimes say. Out there in the broader culture, I would like to see something that's more consumed, more engaged, more inviting. What we're doing is a good start, but we can't. I'm looking at like 10 people in the chat room, and those 10 people mean the world to me, but that number needs to be 40, 50, 60, and 70. When I saw Ben's highlight video getting hundreds of views, it did my heart good, because we have struggled as single digits, double digits, and every now and then triple digits. But Ben really uncorked it. I think that there is actually an appetite for what we do here. We try to keep it positive, uplifting, and inspiring, while at the same time letting people, vent a little steam. I do think there is an appetite out there. I think that it's a very crowded field, and we are going to have to do more and work harder and work smarter if we are going to stand out and not just be just another amateur hobby thingy, that we can each know that what we're doing here, and we are an engaging and participating platform. It's not a one-way street. We have a chat room, but I'm pretty sure most of you feel the same way I do, that, the day will come when we're no longer here. And it needs to matter that we were here. And the older I get, the more important that becomes to me. So, all right, well, that's all I needed to cover for now. We will have Michelle coming up at the bottom of the hour, or at least she's scheduled. I haven't heard from her yet. So let me kind of shut things down here, take a little break, drink a little coffee, and appreciate the opportunity to share. And maybe that'll shorten up some of our other episodes, but I'm trying to throw this in as sort of a monologue at the end after you all are well tired. There's a couple of other ideas that I have, but folks, if you have an idea, if God's put a thought on your heart, I want to be your partner. I want to help. My ministry is to help yours. Please give me a shake and let me know, so that we can all work together as a team, as a family, to advance the kingdom of God. All here on pjnet.tv. Time for me to go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask you 2 questions. They're serious. The first one is, what is the boldest thing that you've ever done for Jesus Christ? And whatever your answer to that is, the second question is, well, when was that? Folks, however we answer those questions, we must never allow ourselves to be satisfied with our answer.